somebody. When you get him up, you struggle to get him off. Would you put your hands together and welcome, first of all, the legend, the man with the most appearances for this club, Barry Murphy. And would you welcome as well onto the front, Mr. Pat Howard.
Come on, Pat. Thank you, Dave, for those kind words.
Good evening.
Oh, sorry. I'll take it on from here, man.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Great what he said.
Listen, I don't feel that I need to... I can't think of what I'm looking for.
Introduce me.
Interview this. I don't need to do an interview. Right, I'm just going to say, there are two Oakwell legends here.
Pat especially.
Tell us about Eric.
Pat especially.
Come on, tell us your memories of it.
Came down in 1960, in early 60s. Early 60s I came down to Barnsley. Come from the northeast, of course. You can tell by my accent. And I haven't lost it, because I don't want to lose it for a Yorkshire accent. I tell everybody that. That knows what I mean, silly. You know this. We're here for Eric. Andrew asked me to get up and say a few words. I said, this is going to be tough. He was a big pal of mine, Eric. When I first came down, like I say, in the early 60s, the lad that I got on with, big mates, big pal, was Eric Winstanley. I was in digs when I first came down. I think I settled down in Barnsley because Eric used to take me, he used to probably felt sorry for me, coming from the northeast, but I came from a mining community, as Eric did as well. And he used to take me home to their house and look after us. His mother and father were fantastic people. That's how far we go back. Marvellous people. Tell you. Andrew, I told you. We used to go home, especially on a Friday, because it's already been mentioned. He used to take us home, and we used to have every Friday, God sent, was fish and chips.
Something going on with this fish and chip, like that.
Fish and chips.
Nowadays.
That's all on a Friday afternoon, as well as going before then. We used to feel sorry for it because I was in digs. Came down, me and Eric, he was in the first team. He only made his appearance that year I came down in 1962. The two finest people I've ever met in Barnsley, and they both worked in football. And you know what I'm going to say. One was Norman Remington, and he started. That was his first season as well, in the early 60s. And Eric Winstanley. It was a marvellous time. They're the two finest people I've ever met in football. They were fantastic to me. And they looked after us. So like I said, we used to meet. Eric he made his appearance at 17-year-old. And when I say he made his appearance, he was a because I'll get to this, he was a fantastic centre-half. He'd have played for England, and I'm not kidding when I say that. 17-year-old, they were all chasing. There was Spurs, there was Man United, all the big clubs in them days were fantastic. He was a good player. And Pat will tell you about it, because he played alongside him, Pat. We had a fantastic team at the time. He was playing in the first team, of course. It was a while before I made my appearance in the first team. So I was in what they called the Central League at that time. I played a lot of years in the Central League. And every time the match finished, we'd arrange, because they were away from home, or vice versa, and we arranged to meet Eric somewhere in Barnsley. And then we used to go through to the Mecca in Wakefield. We've all been to the Mecca. I tell you, we used to go there and get the train in and go through on a Saturday night after the match. But Eric was my mate, and we always were, the family as well. We were lovely, lovely people. I tell you what, there was nobody more shocked when I heard about what did Eric, and I heard from Pat Howard, it was him that wrote me to tell me what had happened to Eric. We've had some fantastic times. And I tell you what, he will be missed. He's a lovely lad, or he was a lovely lad. But I tell you what, when people ask you in a football game, who's the best player you've ever played with? We all get asked that. And I played nearly 600 matches for Barnsley Football Club. And everything, the name comes the same. The finest player that I played with was Eric Winstanley. Top man. And a lovely lad and a lovely family. Pat, over to you.
I go along with everything Barry said there. It's difficult, but you know, everybody's saying the same kind of things about Eric. But I remember going back many years when I was an apprentice professional, and I'd be just over there, the boot room over there. So I was in charge of doing the boots for all the first team squad and stuff like that. And Eric he made me laugh one week. He says, Pat, I'll give you a couple of quid every week if you give my boots some polish, so I know on a Saturday they're immaculate, them boots, like, you know. And yeah, that's what happened. Week in, week out, I would clean his boots, make sure they did a good job, and he dropped me a couple of quid there. But what a great bloke, a great bloke to have at the club, a captain. If anybody was made out to be a captain, Barry, it was Eric. I know you did a bit of captaincy yourself, didn't you? But when I managed to get in the first team, he was such a tremendous player to play alongside, you know, with all the experience he got. And I think I would say he's the best player I ever played with. Or I played a bit higher up for a good few years. But I would say, I agree with Barry, he's probably the best central defender that I've ever played with. And that says a lot, that. But like Barry was saying, a great bloke, liked a joke, and he just loved to be part of the scene, Barry, didn't he?
Yes, he was. You're right, Pat. He was fantastic. He was superb. One thing we haven't said, and I will tell you this, because I used to enjoy training, same as Pat, but Eric never enjoyed training. We used to do our pre-season training up in Woodmoor. And all Norman used to do was stand in the middle and run our bloody legs off. Now Eric wouldn't put up with that. He shouted every 2 minutes to Norman, and Norman was taking it. Every 2 minutes, I bet they're not doing this at Leeds United. I bet they're not running like this at Leeds United. He wasn't a good trainer. Let's say something about him. Was he, Pat? He never used to train well. He used to shout to me. He used to say to us, fine. Rimo used to send us on runs and so on and so forth. And of course, me and Pat was probably in the front. I'm only kidding when I said that. And they used to shout at us from the back. Steady down, for God's sake. Steady down. Eric was trailing at the back. But got him on that pitch, I'll tell you. He was the best. I remember the time, sorry, Pat.
No, you're right.
Sorry. I'm going to tell you the time that we played Watford down here. It was a big game. The place was a Tuesday night. And we were 2-0 down, Watford. They hadn't lost the game for 3 years. Sorry, 2 years. Watford hadn't lost a game for 2 years. Eric, we were just after half time. He always used to went up because he guaranteed you a goal, Eric, from the set piece. So what he did, he went up for this corner kick and whatever, boom, 2-1. Then 3-1 to Watford. And then Eric scored 2 more. He scored 3 goals. He got a hat-trick from set pieces. And then he got a 4th. We bet him 4-3. And they never lost the game for 2 years. And Eric, he guarantee you, Eric, if he set off for set pieces, he would get you a goal. He was tremendous at it's heading. All his goals came from set pieces and whatever. With free kicks and so on, he was brilliant. Brilliant. Couldn't pick him up. Couldn't pick him up. He was so good. But a player, Pat,
Yeah,
the best.
yeah, definitely.
See, he was my
He did help me a lot going back to the years with me being just a younger player and training with the first team and that. What were happening then was that they were changing the system to a back four, other than like two full backs and centre half. And Johnny Steele, to be fair to him, tried everybody. And we just walking back in for an afternoon session, and I heard Eric say to Remo, why don't you give Pat a chance? So he's put it in Remo's mind, you know, to sort of say, right. So in the afternoon, we have a practice game, and we're trying to get these four at the back. And to me, he did me the greatest service ever, because Remo liked me there, and then I started the season. I think we got promotion by the first season, didn't we? So it was a great help with regard to getting me in the team as well. But like we were all saying, a tremendous player. And I don't think there's been many players better than him.
No, he's the best.
Yeah.
The best, Eric.
Just to ask you, Pat, I'd like to ask you one question.
Yeah.
We're looking on Sky Sports News today at someone like Jack Grealish going for £100 million to Manchester City. Now, I look back at some of the centre-halves that we've had over the years, and we've sold them on for some good money. We've had some good money out of our centre-halves. If you were to look at Eric Winstanley, the player, what would he be worth in today's market?
Oh, he'd be worth it, he'd be in the middle.
Yeah, you just...
Without a doubt. He'd have played for England. Eric, we can't have the injury. I think we see.
The prices are sky high at the minute, aren't they?
I'm just saying, you would put a price of £100 million on Jack
What would
Grealish.
Eric be worth today? God, that's a good question.
Why be a big one? The Grealish money. The Grealish money. What about this Grealish? Or change the subject. You can't spend it, can you? You can't spend it.
Outstanding. Outstanding player, outstanding gentleman.
Brilliant.
We've got that. Barry, Pat, thank you very much indeed. Absolutely.
All the best, everyone.
Thank you. Right, ladies and gents, what we're going to do, we're going to take a 5-minute break.